Boom. I'm here. What's up?
What's going on, my friend?
Loving the Ranchy Redneck profile pic you got on there.
Thanks, man. I gotta support the boy Nick.
That's right. That's right. And you got you a lightsaber too.
Yeah, no, his rarity is supposed to come out soon, so I'm curious to see how good I did.
Yeah, you asked him that, and he said it is soon to be released, right, on his rarity chart.
Yep, I'm hoping the lightsaber is super rare.
I don't know. Just from me, I'm a Star Wars nerd. Just to be put all cards on the table, and yeah, it's a cool piece, whether it's rare or not. To me, I think it's cool that he even chose a lightsaber. I hope he's a Star Wars nerd like me.
Yeah, I don't know. We will find out. Maybe that'll be my next question for Nick: is how much do you love Star Wars?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, let's see if he's announced that yet. Rarity. Ooh, check your rankings now. All right.
This is it.
It's happening. It's happening. Let's see. What is my redneck number? Let's see.
I like this live unveiling.
Yes, I'm excited. Let's see. My number is 247. All right, 247.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. What's inside? What's in the prize?
Well, so I'm just realizing this too. His shirt is gold and silver. It's like kind of sparkly if you open it. How will we play the game? Let's guess.
Okay.
There's 1,000 rednecks. Where do you think I rank in rarity?
You can be kind of fortunate sometimes, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go on the top 20%.
Oh yes, I am definitely in the top 20%.
Okay, let's keep this game going. 10%.
I am in the top 10%.
Whoa. Okay. All right. 5%. Are you in the top 5?
I am in the top 5%.
Are you in the top 2%?
Let me do math here. Yes, I am in the top 2%.
Wow. Okay. Well,
I am. I just posted in general. I have the 16th most rare Ranchy Redneck with a rarity score of 81.53.
Oh, Nick's gonna think that's pretty cool that you ended up with that.
I think that's really cool, and I'm excited about that.
He probably had he knows which one you have, right? He probably had an idea that you were pretty rare already without actually doing the math.
That is just crazy.
That is crazy. Well, congratulations. If any of you are listening and wondering what are we talking about, good friend of the show, Nick, he runs Ranchy Rednecks, and he's an incredible, knowledgeable person about NFTs. I should mention the fact that he's 13 years old, and he is just well beyond his years. I said on Twitter, somehow science figured out a way to put decades worth of knowledge into a 13-year-old's brain. And Nick is the benefactor of science in that case. So Smart Rick bought him one of these Ranchy Rednecks and somehow managed to get a top rare one. So you can see it on his profile pic with the kind of with smirk with the lightsaber.
I just taunted Christine on Twitter with it.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's good. I need to make my way and maybe get one of those, since I feel like I got priced out of the what is it, the baby apes? The
ape kids,
the ape kids. Although they did fall a little bit since yesterday.
They have fumbled.
Yeah. I think the floor was around 1 ETH. But today, so what do we do here on Traderverse Community Update Thursdays? What we do is we give an update on what's going on in the Traderverse world. But right now it's before launch, and there's a lot of things that are up and coming. So, last week we kind of went over just a whole rundown of all the features, all the 6 different parts of Traderverse and how they work together. This week, I think we're going to go over a little bit differently. We're still going to go over what's to come with Traderverse, but I want to kind of give a little story of what it might be like if Traderverse were out right now. Okay, we've seen the market. If you've watched the stock markets over the last week or 2 or 3, you've seen them go down. You've seen them rebound quite a bit. It's been, quite a wild ride. Crypto, I could say the same thing going over into the summer even, is it's been a wild ride. So if that were the case, if Traderverse were out right then, or let me ask you this, Zach, if Traderverse were out right now and the markets were, rebounding, at least the stock market's rebounding well from kind of a dip down, what might I be able to do with that? If I was a new, young, inexperienced trader and I stumbled onto Traderverse, what might I be able to see from content creators? What might I be able to see from the information that can be gathered from Traderverse?
Well, one thing for sure is you would have saw the PR that we put out today.
Oh, do tell.
Yeah, so just like today, we got picked up by Yahoo Finance, Benzinga, Seeking Alpha. Morningstar, I believe, picked us up too. So that would be one of the first things that you would see is actually real-time news. So whether it be crypto or be stock market related, we have an aggregator that will bring all of that content into one place. So that would be like the first place, or the first thing you would see when you logged in. When it comes
to... So you're talking about, just to interrupt you real quick, you're saying that we had some Traderverse PR that came out, so some a press release that came out, but what you're saying is I could see news from anywhere across the net, not necessarily OTC, just Traderverse related.
Yeah, OTC market, the stock market, and news from the crypto world would all be on your activity feed.
So almost like, if I were to say, my father, and waking up every morning and reading the newspaper, right? Find out what happened over the last 24 hours. And with this, it might be kind of part of your morning routine, right? Of what happened overnight, especially in crypto, that's 24 hours. What do I need to be prepared for during the day as far as trading is concerned? You're saying it might kind of give me a quick catch up of what's going on immediately right now.
So it would be like logging into Twitter and seeing what all the big accounts are tweeting about.
Gotcha. I like that. I like that a lot because Twitter can get a little crowded sometimes to read about.
And off topic as well.
Yeah, correct. Sometimes I'm reading, what sandwich you ate that day, which I'm interested in. Don't stop giving me.
I'm a big fan. I had a great Beck today, bacon, egg, and cheese bagel today. It was really good. New York's bagels
from New York, yeah,
it's from Zucker's. So good. So I would be reading those articles too. But if you want to talk about just trading and just the information regarding, company PRs or, blog posts, which would get into our cloud docs, like what creator that you follow is posting new content, watch lists, videos with streams, all in your activity feed, or all from the people that you follow on different social media platforms. Just a place where all that content can live in one easy to find place.
So, yeah. And, you talked about Twitter, all that content as far as just, people's quick little quips. And like you said, it's a little diluted with our non-stock, non-trading type things, but that's all in one place too, on Twitter. But on Traderverse, I can access some other things without leaving that tab, if you will. Correct? I can still see more than just a news feed.
Correct. And that was like kind of the whole purpose when we first started this project was we want a place where you don't have to have 20 browser tabs open, you just have one.
Man, I should do a live counting of browser tabs. See, here's my problem with browser tabs.
I have 9 right now.
Oh, I could beat you on any day on browser tabs. Okay, bro. I have a ultra wide monitor. Okay, so it's one of these ridiculously, it's about worth 3 monitors in one. And I have multiple windows, but I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I have 31 tabs on on one window.
Hey, yo.
Yeah. I really push the RAM on my computer.
Man. Well, I have two windows open, and so I have 14 in total. So I got about half of the power right now.
Right. Well, point is, I might be able to cut down on some of these tabs, right, if I have Traderverse, because I'll be able to have a lot of these different things kind of all in one spot, right?
Correct. And then also to go one further, like you will be able to like save some of the stuff to like, read later and have it where you can have your running notes of, say you really want to buy Tesla. Let's just use Tesla for an example. And you're just not sure if it's the right time to buy. So you catalog different things or, PRs or news articles to save for later. So you can have that running notes of like, this is why I want to buy this. Oh yeah, this event's coming up. So lots of really cool, like a calendar setting. We want to do that where you can put in different events and that are coming up, like whether it be a conference or earnings call, just to keep you well informed so you don't forget.
What I never asked of you in any of these community updates is mobile. I have no doubt I'll be able to do this on a desktop, but will this be mobile as well, where I can easily get everything from my phone?
Yep. So eventually, we're definitely prioritizing the web app portion first, but we're going to be developing both at the same time with a mobile app coming out after the web app.
Okay, so the web app will come and I'll be able to access it from my mobile browser, but you're wanting a full-fledged, Traderverse app in the App Store. Is that what I'm hearing?
Correct.
Okay. Well, and one of the reasons why I think that's good is sometimes when I'm at my desktop, what made me think of it is what you said of maybe you want to save something for later. And sometimes my later is not in front of my computer. It's somewhere else where I'm, I have to be doing something, but I can look through my phone or something like that. And if I could save it while I'm in front of my desktop and read it later while I'm on my phone, well, that could be really useful.
Yeah, absolutely. Having both is super, super useful. Like a lot of people are on the go, especially now. I mean, we may or may not have, been inside for about 2 years with this whole COVID thing and got used to using a desktop for trading. But now more and more people are on the go. They have jobs, they have friends, they have families. And to be able to access this information on your phone is way more convenient.
Interesting. Okay. So also, with the kind of the narrative is, let's say I wake up one morning and I'm reading the news, and much like happened this week, I see the OTC markets are really crashing. And I'm wondering, like, is this a time to get in, or is this a time to, is this a time to buy the dip, or might it dip further? What type of content might I be able to consume to help me do my research there? Is it just the news articles that are out, or might I be able to read things from, content creators, other Traderverse users?
Yeah, absolutely. You can get both, and then also a part of our IP, of Tradion, there will be sentiment built in where you'll kind of understand what the social sentiment and of a security or a crypto is. So you'll be able to see, hey, is there a lot of eyes on this right now? Is it exciting right now? Like, and that could really forecast if something is really going to run, because the social volume really does equal retail volume from what I've seen.
You talk about the sentiment in Tradion, and first of all, I'm very interested in that because I think machine assisted learning is something that the big boys have always had and I have never had before. So I'm really excited about that. But how will it read out? Is it just going to give me some highlights, or how will it read out in aggregate? If there's 1,000 people saying OTC market sucks, or, whatever particular OTC stock sucks, is it going to have like a speedometer, a thermometer, some sort of gauge? How will it give me that aggregate look? And I guess I'm asking about UI here that you may not have an answer to.
Well, I may or may not have an answer to it, but I may or may not be able to say anything about it. But yeah, there will be a score. There will be a score, yes. What it will look like in the UI way, like whether it be a gauge or a thermometer.
Okay, so there will be a score, and
there'll be a metric. There'll be a metric, yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's what I was asking, because there's two ways you could do it. You could have some number, 0 to 100 number, or 0 to 1,000 number, whatever you wanted to. Or you could just highlight some, these are some highlights of what people are saying. And I, being more of a numbers guy, probably appreciate the number. And, it can go into a speedometer, a thermometer. It really doesn't matter at that point, as long as there's a number that I can look at and it's consistent. Now, tell me this, and I think I'll know the answer. Will the metrics that it's looking at to come up with that number, will they be proprietary and published? Will I be able to know how you're coming up with that number, or will it be more, secret sauce?
Secret sauce, for sure. There's many things that go into it, like the amount of mentions on different social media platforms, and then the sentiment aspect is kind of our IP of what words it looks for, and the machine learning looks at like the how vigorous the vocabulary is and like how strongly worded it is, and weights it based on what we give that character.
It's interesting. You need to look at it by account. There's a couple of Twitter accounts. I listened to a Twitter fight on Spaces this week. I won't name any names. Yeah, I know you did. And on it, one of the people is just well known for being very, very strongly worded, good or bad. No matter what, it's pedal to the metal, hardcore. And be interesting to see how AI handles that, because some people, they don't just say like, oh, this stock it's pretty good, it's okay, no matter what, it's thing's awesome or this thing sucks.
I mean, what if it could detect like Twitter beef? Like, there's some scandalous drama going on over this stock. You might want to check it out.
Look, if there's an alert that would tell me of I saw some good Twitter drama this week, and so did you. If there was like, because it was good TV, if you, or radio, I should say.
That's great.
Yeah, it was very interesting. And if those two gentlemen were trying to increase their followership by having a beef, it's like a Tupac and Biggie thing, right? Is we'll have a beef and it'll be it'll help out careers. But did it help out their career? I'd say no in the end. But anyway, yeah, I think
I gotta,
right, you gotta get going, gotta get that, get some Hall's breezers in here. But yeah, I think that type of conversation would be a pretty cool thing to have an alert. But yeah, so Traderverse giving all of this knowledge. Here's what I think would be neat. Let's see those Twitter fights happen. People may use to defend their position some of Traderverse's, some of Tradion, right? If they say, oh no, Fisker is going to do really well, and I can tell you why, because Tradion has this number on it. I mean, it could really become part of kind of the social fabric of traders, right? It's just to say, this is what I'm seeing in Traderverse, and this is how I'm basing some of my research.
No, absolutely. Like, I think one of the members of that fight that we're both joking around about, like, he was talking about peer analysis, like comparing against peers and other fundamental metrics, and like that's one of the things about Tradion is how do we dumb that down so it's like the most simplistic and the easiest way to read that information to make a sound decision, or not a sound.
Or right. You'll find out. Yeah. After I do the trade. Yeah. After I do the trade, ask me in 2 weeks whether it was a sound decision or not. But one thing you just said that made me think that Tradion or Traderverse, in a wider perspective, could be good is that it sounds like it has ways of catering to the beginner and to the expert. Okay. If I'm a beginner, it sounds like Tradion as an assistant could really help me if I just don't know much. If I don't know much about the stock market, if I don't know, barely what a seed phrase is, I can follow content creators that are a little more freshman level, right, to help me kind of learn. I can look over news articles that are a little easier to understand. But at the same time, for an expert, somebody that really knows their stuff, maybe the two gentlemen like we were talking about having a fight, they seem like intelligent people. They probably read something differently each morning than the beginner does, and it sounds like Traderverse, they could kind of tailor it to what they're needing and what they're wanting.
I mean, Traderverse is going to have everything. Like, we're trying to condense all of that content that you find everywhere on the internet in one place. So your your SEC documents, your trending Twitter posts, your user submitted due diligence. It'll all be there.
So SEC documents, that's interesting that you said that. Let's say I'm following XRP or and maybe by extension Ripple, and I'm really heavily invested in it, and there is some sort, on Capitol Hill, they're fighting over something of regulation with it, which seems to happen often with many different cryptos, but I always feel like XRP is in the news a lot because of that. It will alert me that that's happening. It might even alert me that, hey, here's a document I could look over, correct? To just kind of, hear it from the horse's mouth rather than a synopsis in a media briefing.
Yeah, if you follow that topic, I'm sure that it'll curate it to you.
See, that could really be a time saver, because right now, if I'm trying to do that, I'm Googling it, right? I'm going into Google or DuckDuckGo, whatever. Whatever I'm trying, depending on how private I'm wanting to be,
or brave,
or brave. Oh, I like that. If I'm feeling really brave, I'll put it into Google and let the world know what I'm searching. But yeah, if I put it into Google and then I have to look through, hopefully I can find what I'm looking for within the first page or two of research. What you're telling me is Traderverse could not only give me that information, it may even alert me that it's there without me even doing that search, because it knows I'm interested in, XRP or whatever.
Correct.
Okay. That's lots of time savers here. And like I said, a little of something for everybody. One thing I like about, you've ran a blog before, correct? You had a Substack, and did you have it behind a paywall?
No.
Okay. So it's just log in, consume, take the goodness that's there, and move away. You did you monetize in any way? Did anybody ever offer you a tip? Did anybody just get high fives?
I ended up having my own Discord server afterwards, but and that was kind of like most people found me through my through my Substack. But yeah.
Okay. So your Substack was kind of your marketing arm.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Yes, it's a good way of putting it.
Yeah. Your Substack was your marketing arm, and then if eventually, if people wanted to follow, you could get into your Discord server, which that's a good way of doing things. I think content creators usually do that. They do something to really get their name out and do something else that's paid. But Traderverse will have a different, economy, and that gets into the takeoff token that's part of Traderverse, where if you make something, if you write that blog article like you did on Substack, and I think it's really good, and I think this is so good, I made $2,000 off of the information that was on this. I'm going to give Zach, a little tip just to thank him for putting out that. That can happen in Traderverse, correct? Where I can give just a slight little tip of takeoff token.
Yeah. You could also write a comment of like for tipping, like don't eat yellow snow, or those kind of tips too. So
both ways before you cross the street.
Yep.
Say no to drugs.
Of course, I before E, except after C.
Oh, a good one. That's a good rule. That's a good tip right there.
Life tip. Yep.
Yeah. I'm going to craft my next Twitter post of stock trading tips. Look both ways before you cross the street. Yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, so you'll be able to do. It'll have a tipping mechanism as well, where I'll be able to, tip you for good content. Or let's just say I really was blowing and going on Traderverse, and I had thousands of people that were looking over my content, and I thought, you know what, I could probably monetize this and put it behind a paywall, and people would be willing to pay for this because it's good information. There is an economy like that, as you just said. There's paid Discord servers, right?
Yep. And the problem with those, and not that I'm saying that paid Discord servers are bad, because I had one, but it's a lot of times you don't know what's behind the paywall. Like, is it really worth it? So, like, being able to share free information, just kind of market, kind of like what you're saying, what kind of value you get inside of this Discord server is kind of important.
But there will be, so maybe that gets into the next thing that we talked about last week. If we're talking about Discord servers and how I could spread my information sounds like a VD or something. Spread my information, but yeah, how I could spread my information would be through colonies, right?
Yes,
that would be
correct.
I don't want to say substitute, but the analogy of Discord inside Traderverse would be more like colonies, and that could be a paywall too behind that if I wanted it to be.
You could monetize just about anything that you want on the platform.
Okay. And okay, so tell me about the integration with colonies. Let's deep dive a little more into colonies. So colonies is like Discord, where I could have, a server and different, sections within that colony. But within there, will it be integrated well? Because if I want to put a chart or something like that in Discord, it's not a trading platform, so it's not really, real intuitive. How will colonies be more tuned towards traders?
So let's take the example of Discord, right? So you find something that's thought provoking, either it's on Twitter or it's on a news site. You grab the HTTP, just grab that URL, and then you could open up your Discord. You find the Discord, you find the channel you want to send it to, and then you send it. With colonies, you'd be able to send it directly from within the same walls. So if you see a news article, you hit the share button and you could share it directly to the channel of the colony you wanted to with just one click.
Wow. Okay, so with just one click, I could just share it into there without even changing windows.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, you could also take the URL and move it over there manually, but we want information to float quickly at Traderverse.
Well, that's what I like about this is, Discord. So a lot of times for projects, particularly NFT world, they'll use a Discord server. Some will do it, different tokens and coins will do a Telegram, for chat. But for Discord, it helps them to kind of, put different categories and things like that into their project. But Discord is not really made for trading. It's not, it's easy to flow information. It does a lot of good things. I think a lot of us like Discord. We're talking on Discord right now. So there's a lot of good things to do with it, but it's not a trading platform. And so I think even the first iteration, it sounds like there's already some thought of to make things easier, but you're going to have the community right here. One thing I think that's a problem with Discord is there's a lot of Discord servers out there that I don't know about. Discoverability is a problem. Is colonies and Traderverse know about colonies that would be good for me to join in on?
Yeah, absolutely. So colonies will also be integrated with, excuse me, Tradion. So our AI will talk to everything, and so not only will it be there as a service to be able to use, but it also can just look at the metrics of what you guys are talking about. And the idea is that on our colonies discovery page, you can actually see what people are talking about in the server before you join.
Oh, so I can see a preview of some of the discussions?
Yeah, one of the ideas that we're kind of tossing around is say it's a bunch of options trader. How do we identify that this server is about options? So if you're looking for a specific niche community, you could potentially just go to the discovery page and say, oh, these guys talk about small caps, these guys talk about OTC, oh, these guys talk about crypto, and just kind of find what community is your trading style.
Okay, I like that because, for me, I am in a lot of small caps, whether it be, crypto or stock. I just like the opportunity for something to, get in at the bottom floor and it kind of grows.
Right.
And I could find colonies that are kind of, tuned towards what I like. Might it have, suggested colonies or, I'm sure you can find out that I like this, I like that, I like the, you can kind of come up with a score for what I'm like, and then find other people that are a lot like me, and maybe they're in a certain colony that I'm not. Might it suggest that colony to me as a suggested colony?
Yeah, absolutely. Same thing. You could upload your portfolio to both crypto and stocks within our service, and potentially we could suggest colonies based on what you hold.
Oh, I like that. So it'd have my portfolio, have everything on there, and then suggest, okay, you've got this, you've got, you've got this stock, you've got
here's
this.
Here's a big group of people who talk about Tesla. You own Tesla.
Right, man, that is really good because I know, let's just use Tesla as an example. I know there's probably Discord servers that are dedicated to stock talk and probably even surrounding Tesla about what's going on in the market, what's going on in the EV market, different earnings reports. It probably breaks it down really well. But I don't know where to find them. I would have to actually Google them and do some research and, go to the Reddit page and find out all these different things. That would be very difficult to find. But on Traderverse, it might actually suggest it to me rather than me just looking for it.
Correct.
Man.
That's the idea. We want to connect people, places, and processes to each other as quickly as possible because, trading is a team sport and you might as well find your team quicker.
Oh, I like that. Trading is a team sport. Why have I not heard that term?
I swear I've said that before, but I really believe that because, like, in my trading career, I learned more from people than I did, like, reading articles. So, like, I really learned a lot from some of my mentors who were some of the Traderverse ambassadors, actually. And they would give me good, helpful nuggets and be like, see, this is why this is important. And, like, I learned from someone I respected, someone who's been there, done that, and it helped me tremendously.
Well, the thing I like is about community and, trading being a team sport is I do want to hear different perspectives. I want to hear even perspectives that I don't agree with, right? That I just want to hear the other side of things. That Twitter fight that we heard earlier this week, it was allowed me to hear some different perspectives that I wouldn't have thought. Now, there's a right answer and a wrong answer to most things in the stock world, right? In the end, you get to find out whether you should have bought or should have sold or should have held. And so you find out all of that, but it takes other perspectives because it's real easy to get in your own little world and not hear what other people have to say. Speaking of, are you in like a commons area?
Yeah, there's I'm not in a commons area. I'm more in the second suite where I share, we have roomies, but they're all talking over there.
I got you. Nah, that's reasonable. Just tell them to come on in here and join, get the mic on and we'll.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Hear what they have to say. By the way, if any of you are listening and you're wondering what I'm talking about, Smart Rick is actually up in New York in a place called Launch House, and he was selected to be there. It's not just any old Joe can get into the house. So he's in there and he's able to learn a lot from other people that are, founders of projects. And we even had one of those projects on here in the Discord server last Friday as we had Pixels. They're a really cool NFT project where you can actually get an NFT that you own and bring it into the Pixels metaverse, kind of have it as a world. So, it sounds like a really cool project and almost gives a use case and a utility for other NFTs that may not have had that yet. So yeah, that's where Smart Rick is right now. So if you hear anything in the background, it's from all these smart people that he's around. How many people are in the launch house? Did you say?
I think there's like 15 of us. I think altogether. I just yelled at him. I was like, "Come on, guys, I'm on a show."
No, I'm sorry. No. They were fine. Just it gives me a good segue to be able to talk about kind of where you are, because I think it's really cool that you got there, and he's there until almost Christmas time, right? Sometime next week or the week after you're there till, right?
2 weeks, and then I go home. 2 more weeks. Has
it already been pretty good? Has it been all that you expected so far?
It's been a blast. I'm meeting a lot of really cool people. Maybe some future partners to Traderverse. Being able to network and bounce ideas off people it's never a bad thing.
And I think the networking thing, if we really want to get into what is great about Traderverse, it is that it is a tool to network. The other phrase you mentioned, a fun phrase of trading is a team sport. Another fun phrase is, your network is your net worth, right? I'm sure you've heard that one before.
Absolutely.
And sometimes it's hard to network. If you aren't always in Twitter Spaces or you aren't always in social media just at all, then it can be hard to like find your crew, find, who are like you. And I think you need to find people like that are like-minded people. They'll let you know things. I can tell you, because I'm much, I go by the voice of DeFi. I'm much more crypto oriented. I can tell you that for crypto, I need to know about like new projects, new tokens and coins that are being released because I want to get them early on. Told you I like small caps. and I can get them early on, and I can, watch them kind of ride up. Now, to do that, I've learned you almost have to have a good network that hears they got a buddy that's launching a new token. They know that token won't rug because they know the buddy personally, that sort of thing. You kind of have to have that network to be able to survive in this, trading world. And Traderverse, I think, would help people do that, because it's taken me a long time to build up a network. Do you think for a new trader that's just getting into crypto or stocks, they would be able to find their community a little faster with Traderverse than they might in just the regular, Wild West of the internet?
I mean, that's the hypothesis. We put all this information in one place with all the people who care about this information in hopes that you find the right connections for you.
Yeah, because if you don't, then if you don't find the right connections, then you probably just aren't going to be able to do it, because Traderverse is going to have everything there in one spot where you can find that other person, where you can, meet somebody else that say, hey, you seem to like some of these things, because community is really, really big. Now, Smart Rick, community better than almost anyone. You know the importance of it just for a project. So, I know you'll advise on certain projects. This is how you build community. But really, from a trader, not a project starter, you need to have a community just as badly. So I think in Traderverse, there's going to be ways where you can build a community, both even as a token founder. Do you think you'll see a lot of I know you can't predict, but would the idea be that token founders or project founders might use colonies in Traderverse to be able to kind of create the community around their project?
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the biggest conversations that I'm having is with these people in the NFT space or the NFT gaming space saying like, hey, like you could have your own colony that's connected to a page, that's connected to a streams account and a Cloud Docs account. So now you have your, where it is now, like you have your Twitter, your Discord, and your Medium, all three different entities that don't really work well together. Now you can have them in an ecosystem that is like super in sync, very integrated with one another, where you can really start to prosper those relationships very, very well.
So let's talk about the streams a little bit. So, if I'm a content creator and I put out, weekly, daily, whatever videos of, kind of a talking head videos where I can talk about whatever's going on, in whatever trading that I'm talking about, I can put it to YouTube. And you've told me before that I could put a video out on Traderverse and I could then push it to YouTube. But Traderverse will be in and of itself its own platform, correct? I understand I can put it to other platforms, but it'll be in and of itself its own platform if I want it to be, right? And not push it.
Correct. You can use. We just wanted to make it as useful as possible. So, like for the people that have big presence on other platforms, they can still exist on those other platforms. But they also can have the convenience of being able to do it from our platform and reach other platforms.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, because I like the fact that it could be its own platform. And we talked a little bit about this last week. And so I kind of want to just underline it, is many people as creators, and if they want to do video, if they want to do creation and it's video, YouTube is, for the most part, the only game in town. I understand there's other ones, but YouTube is where a lot of people go. But it's very, very saturated. If you're starting out with zero social media following, in other words, you don't have anything really in Twitter, you don't have really anything in, Reddit or wherever else, TikTok or anything like that, and you're just starting literally from zero on YouTube, it's going to take you a long time to even get seen by people that would want to see your content. You may have people that are like, oh, I really want to see the content that Smart Rick's putting out, but they'll never know about you. They don't even know who Smart Rick is, so they'll never see that. But Traderverse will be a new social media platform. And, let's face it, if you were new to YouTube and YouTube was new, it'd be a lot easier to get spotted. Is that a little bit of kind of the marketing angle that you have for new creators is, hey, this is a new social media platform and therefore more eyes will see your hard-earned work?
Yeah, it's definitely a perk, where not only can you connect to YouTube or to Twitch to go live or show content, but now, so if you, for people who do listen to this, like if you if you type into Google or excuse me, YouTube and say like cryptos to buy today or something, or I don't know, some generic search term, and you see what the algorithm gives you, and you look at every single one of those creators, they have hundreds of thousands of followers. Like, you may make the best content in the world and only have like 2,500, followers, but it's really hard for you to get seen. So now this is a chance for everyone to kind of start over on the same square and see who the best is.
Well, see, and that's what I like about it, because the thing I didn't mention about YouTube is it's got all the other content too. If you want to know how to cook, the best pot of beans I don't know where I came up with beans, but
pot of beans.
Best pot of beans. Sometimes your brain you're like, I need to think of a food. This is live what Steven is thinking. I need to think of a food, and some reason beans are what came to mind.
I like beans.
I do like beans. I live more towards the southern part of the US, and beans are a large part of what I eat.
They're magical.
They are the magical fruit. I've heard that, and I've also heard that they're good for your heart. So I don't have any next sound effects for you on my stream deck, but I need to. Anyway, yeah. So let's say I'm interested in trading, but also I'm interested in cat videos and how to cook a pot of beans. Also how to fly a kite, and all that's on YouTube. And it's great that YouTube has all that, but it is a little diluted. And let's face it, the recommended sidebar can have all kinds of things on it that aren't necessarily related to what I'm looking at the time. Maybe I am interested in cats. Maybe I am interested in how to cook a pot of beans, and maybe I am interested in how to fly a kite. I can go to YouTube for that. To me, there's no reason why a lot of the trading, expertise couldn't be on Traderverse, and it could be on YouTube as well for the people that want to be eclectic and, figure out, whether I should buy or sell Tesla at the same time as I'm trying to figure out how to cook that pot of beans. Right. Yeah, sometimes you need to know both. But Traderverse would at least allow me to be like, okay, I need to have an hour of getting serious and just think about trading for a second. And I could get it all in there, because I'm assuming you're not having cat videos, right, on Traderverse, or pot of bean videos.
No, I don't. I mean, that'd be new content for me. But yes, but I think we've all struggled with the hey man, what do I do with these Tesla calls, and what should I make some refried beans tonight? I mean, that's something that I definitely struggle with 3 or 4 nights a week.
I think I just found you a new way of doing content, right? It's a cooking show. And I'm just doing the cooking. I'm making my pot of beans or my spaghetti or whatever. But while I'm doing it, I'm like, hey, have you seen the fourth quarter earnings report from Tesla? Looking pretty good. I wonder if that means this would be a good time to buy. But the whole time I'm cooking, right? I'm actually doing
bullish. The cooking show is called bullish. Just add a sprinkle of price to earnings ratio, and voila, that's a buy stock.
I like that. I don't know. I want. How about like Bowlish? Okay, BOWL. Okay, I need a cooking. Okay, so here's your chance. If you're one of the people in here listening, here's your chance to have you a Traderverse show that's based on cooking yet based on trading. Ooh, there's something here. It's not me.
Here. It's not vetted, but there's something here for sure.
Well, it's not me that would be doing the cooking. You ever seen that show Nailed It on Netflix? Where okay, so now we're really getting off topic, but if you've ever seen the meme where it shows like these Cookie Monster beautiful cookies, okay, and they look like Cookie Monster, and it's amazingly delicious and beautiful cookies, and it'll have the bottom of the meme where it'll have somebody's attempt at it, and it's like, it looks like exactly. It looks like Cookie Monster's face is like melted off of the cookie, and it's awful. Yeah, and it says
"D is for cookie."
So, there's a Netflix show called Nailed It, and basically they get these awful cooks, these awful people that don't know how to, cook a Cookie Monster cookie, and they'll say, you have 2 hours to put together this beautiful creation, and they'll show the beautiful creation, and they give them not enough time to these people that aren't very good anyway at making it. And at the end of it, the creations they have are absolutely, slap your knee kind of funny. It's pretty funny. But yeah, that's what it would look like if I were to try to do it. And if I would do the cooking so bad that nobody would listen to calls and say like, oh, you need to buy this, or my whatever crypto pick of the week. Nobody would listen to that because they would think if he cooks that poorly, then his calls for his financial trades must be awful as well. So
or they would really believe you because they're like, if this guy is that bad at cooking, he obviously spends tons of time looking up Tesla.
That's true. And maybe that would be my bit of just like bad cooking with Steven, but good financial calls. Yeah, see, there's something here. Find out your way into your cooking / trading channel, and you'll be able to do it pretty well. So I'm excited about being able to start with Traderverse, and actually, because I'll put some content out, I guarantee you, just because I like to talk about things. I like to talk about different cryptos and different small market cap gems and that sort of thing. So I'm excited because we'll be able to start, and everybody, literally, it'll be an even playing field because everybody will have the same amount of followers initially. Now you get somebody like our co-host for Spaces, like Christine, she'll be able to put something on there and immediately get a lot of followers because she has a pretty massive following already to kind of jump off of.
Right.
But it doesn't matter. Everybody starts with 0 on Traderverse, and that will be unique because not everybody's starting off at 0 right now at YouTube. There's some people that have just a massive following already, and for them, they've gained that over years to be able to get that high of a following, and it won't be the case like that with Traderverse.
Well, we do give you the tools to still take advantage of that monetizing program of YouTube while still using our platform. So you can still get paid by YouTube the same way that you have, and be on another platform building another amazing community that is dedicated to nothing but trading.
Man, you could really, I've never thought about that, but there could be kind of some double dipping, right? I could make a fire video, like one that it goes viral. It's just people are crying because of the calls I put on it, right? It's just amazing. And it would go out to YouTube, and I would be part of their creator program, and I could probably, get some sort of revenue from YouTube, but also it would be on Traderverse, that same video, and it would, it could pull me in some tipping revenue from putting out that content on there as well, right?
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. So like if I meet Kevin, like I'm a big fan of his content. Like he's got a couple million people. He always is going live, and if he wanted to come on and be, hit me up, Kevin. If you wanted to have a profile and go live and do what he's already done for YouTube, but through Traderverse, and reach both Twitch and YouTube, he would be able to.
I guess my thought is, why wouldn't you? If you're already going live on YouTube, and like you said, like him, he's already got millions of followers. Why not do it through Traderverse and just put, the same content? Most people that only view him through YouTube would not know any difference, right? Am I right there? They wouldn't even know that he was originating in Traderverse.
Nope, they would not. And so I think that's kind of the beauty of it. So like, we wanted to give creators the opportunity to continue doing what they're doing and then be on a more convenient platform to create, a place where all that news is already there, where there's a dedicated audience already there, and just make it easier for them.
Okay. Yeah. That is great. Cause like you said, he could do it. Nobody would know, but he would still he'd be expanding his audience, right? Because there'd be all, sorts of new people coming into Traderverse saying, hey, maybe somehow they didn't know about him, and then they could start following him through Traderverse, and he wouldn't alienate any of his current audience. He would open up himself to new audience members, and maybe even create a new monetization stream by having people tip him through the Traderverse thing. That's a really good example of how somebody could use the power of multiple networks, but ultimately, originating from the Traderverse, hub.
That is absolutely correct.
Yeah. So exciting time for sure. Well, tomorrow, we got to talk a little bit about what's going on tomorrow. One thing we'll continue to do is with Traderverse is, discussions like this. And of course, there will be more discussions because there will be a lot more to talk about after it gets launched. But right now, we're bringing you these really, great projects on AMAs on Fridays here on Discord. Do you want to talk about who's coming in tomorrow that we can learn about a brand new project with?
Yes, absolutely. So we have my friends over at the Dead Puppet Society coming to talk with us at 12:30 tomorrow. So the Dead Puppets are a group of consultants that help NFT projects launch. Their project, the Dead Puppet Society, is their first Genesis launch, and holding a puppet gets access to them. That gets their advice in how to do certain things, access to their network. If you have an NFT project, you can actually participate in their incubator program, where they coach you from start to finish, from smart contracts to art to data. In their server. And so they're going to come on, and then anyone who shows up and wants a whitelist spot can get one. I already have mine. Great group of guys, and they're trying to do something pretty cool. So I'm excited.
So let me make sure I'm understanding it. And like I said, this will be just a little bit of a preview as we really deep dive tomorrow with the creators there of the Dead Puppet Society. But I can buy the NFT. I can get on the whitelist and buy the NFT. But they are more of an incubation project for other projects, correct? Because they just have so much knowledge. So does this NFT, and again, this will be the only question I'll ask because I want to ask, I don't want to save it all to tomorrow. This NFT gives people access to incubated projects that are going to be using them as an incubator?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you have, a project and you hold the puppet, you have access to them and their network. So like if you need connected to influencers, they can make that introduction for you. If you need one part of your plan to launch your NFT collection is missing, they can help you, become a whole plan or give advice. I'm in their Discord server, and on the community side of things, if you have questions about community, I'll be in there, and I'll occasionally see, a question, and there might be someone at my network that could help you out, or it could be just simple as I would use this Discord bot, just to be helpful. And they're working with some really big brands and companies and really big names that we all know. So they'll be doing some really cool stuff.
Well, it definitely sounds like from if I'm looking to make my own project and could be incubated under them, that it would be, a smart move for me to do. But what about for the people that actually buy the NFTs, buy the Dead Puppet Society NFTs? They have access to other projects that they wouldn't have had earlier.
Right. I think that what they're trying to do is they say they bring someone in to their incubator or are just a holder of puppets. There will be, some whitelist spots. So you would be able to they're going to be launching in 2 weeks. These guys are the ones that are helping them launch it with all these other projects and their umbrella, their network, or whatever you want to call it. And I can get a guaranteed whitelist spot on this project that I do like.
See, that's big to me, because if you listen to us in Twitter Spaces earlier this week, we said that 3 out of every 4 purchases that are whitelisted end up in profit, as to where only 1 out of every 5 purchases of NFTs that aren't through a whitelist, that are on a secondary market, end up in profit. So if you can find yourself on a whitelist, you have a statistically better chance of profiting. So yeah, being a part of Dead Puppet Society could potentially get you more access to further projects on a whitelist, right?
Correct.
Okay, that's valuable, assuming the statistics hold up that I just said, that's a recent news report that came out with that data on there. But assuming those statistics hold up, then being a part of Dead Puppet Society, and therefore being a part of that community, learning about projects and getting on some whitelists could really work out for you just by holding that NFT. And really, isn't that with what Traderverse, what we're trying to do is just create a community of people that know things that maybe you don't, where, if you're one of those people with knowledge, you can share that knowledge and help out everybody else. Because sometimes it's good for you to make money, but it's also good to be able to help out other people as well, and expand your own network at the same time.
Oh, absolutely. So that's the kind of environment they're trying to create. And I think what they're doing is really wouldn't say like extremely unique because I think there's others that have tried, but I know these people personally, and I know they have the skills, they have the ambition and the drive to do it. So I'm, I wouldn't say I'm all in, but I'm into the Dead Puppet Society, and I'm excited to bring them on the show.
Yeah, they'll be really interesting to speak with, and
Great
we'll do
group
that
of guys.
tomorrow.
Yeah, great group of guys, and a few girls. There's a few girls around.
Well, and this is even what I'm talking about right now. Let's just do the networking that you and I are doing right now, where let's say I just saw the Dead Puppet Society off of Twitter or off of anywhere else, and I saw it and I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm really, behind their project. I read it, it sounds good. But I know you, and you're saying, "Oh yeah, I've met these guys. These are a great group of guys. I've talked with them. They are serious about this project, and they're very, So you're telling me, you're kind of vouching for them, and that's what networking can give me, right? Is where you can tell me, "Oh, I know of these guys, and they're good," and that works because I know you, and that therefore I feel like I can trust them. But that's what Tradeverse to me is going to be able to bring, is that level of networking where you can meet other people that might, know and vouch for other projects that otherwise you wouldn't be able to have that available for, right?
No, absolutely. That's the reason why I am here today, and we're trying to replicate that sort of feeling or connection with other people who are trying to make the same money moves using Tradeverse.
Right. Because your network, if you don't have a network, then you are, I don't want to say you're negating half of your potential, because it may be more than that. You have to, I think, how important would you say networking is at this point in trading?
Huge for me. Because I can't look at everything, and also having, as much as it can be a bad thing, but confirmation bias. Seeing a group of people, like agreeing with something that I may be like, that looks like a bull flag, and then we go on and see like other people talking about, oh, it's flagging, and then having that confirmation that what I'm seeing in the technicals is true, or cup and handle.
Yeah, you bring a good point by bringing in technicals too, because while I'm saying Tradeverse can help with your network, which it can, but it also just may be able to help beginners just learn from creators, some simple things of technical analysis. What's support, what's resistance, what is a bull flag, that sort of thing. Because I do think there's a whole generation. We talked about Nick, who's doing the Raichi Rednecks. He's 13, but he probably has a lot of his peers that don't know a lot about NFTs or crypto, or certainly the stock market, and that's a next generation that's going to be getting older and researching, and eventually they're going to be in the market just like the rest of us are, or many of them may be. Yeah. And they're going to need some education too along the way, and not everybody is school educated. Many people are just educated through what they can find on the net. And Tradeverse will be a good way where they will be able to get that done, learning from people maybe like Nick that are, their peers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's changed my life, and I've made so many amazing friends. And I met you, I met Christine, and now we're doing a show together, and we're having a lot of fun every day. It's brought me the partners in this, and it's just been a really big win for me personally, and I hope that what we create is a big win for everyone that participates and uses our platform.
Well, that's a good way of putting it. I've been able to meet you, I've been able to meet Christine, I've been able to meet Nick, and we can, because of this, we're going to be able to create something. The four of us are going to try to create something really cool, as far as content creation. But that's because we have been fortunate enough to be able to meet each other. I think Tradeverse will be able to lay the foundation for other people to have that exact same story, where they meet other people and they can collaborate to make really cool, end products. And I'm not just talking about making a cool NFT project. Sometimes it's just maybe content creation of, talking about NFT projects, talking about OTC markets, talking about, crypto projects. Maybe you want to get in that dirty BSC space, where there's a lot of rug pulls and things like that. And, you think that there's some gems in there, and, that can be your niche. Everybody needs something that you think you can talk about that isn't really heavily covered. And in this wide world of crypto and NFTs and stocks, there's always something that you could talk about that there's a lot of other people that want to hear about it, from you. And it's, you may hear somebody like Zach that's, he's off in New York. He's learning things from other, people that are in the same boat as him there at Launch House. So what other opportunity would you have to be able to, hear from him who's there than right here on this particular show? But in Traderverse, you'll be able to meet people like that all the time. So I'm excited about what the future can hold with Traderverse. And I'm excited, basically we started this off by saying, this is what the market's done. How could you be able to leverage that? I think the answer is you'd be able to leverage it through other people and through other people in that like the same things that you do. And Traderverse would give that opportunity to be able to meet people just like you around the world, not even just limited to the US.
Right. Absolutely. Like, I think this revolution of traders and, the need for a dedicated trading platform for everyone to converse on is like this hobby or this lifestyle has grown tremendously in the past 2.5 years. Retail is really taking over the volume of the stock market. And, we want to keep this momentum going by giving an easy to use tool. And it's just really excited to be a part of something like this.
For sure. Well, we're going to continue to do these on Thursdays where we'll have a kind of a community update on what's going on with Traderverse. Whenever it's a launched product, my guess is the tempo and feel of these Thursday updates will be a little bit different because we'll be able to actually talk about, different updates that are coming up in the software or different things. Maybe we could even have questions from the audience where people will come in and say, hey, I did this and I don't like this, or you're doing this and I like this. It'll be good to get feedback after launch, but we'll continue to do this. But make sure you're here tomorrow to hear from the Dead Puppet Society. And if you say, oh, Stephen, voice of DeFi, it's tough for me to make it tomorrow, we will record these and you can listen to it at your leisure whenever you get a chance. But if you can, listen in live and hear from the Dead Puppet Society. Again, it's a cool project because they are incubating other projects. So if you're part of their project, you may get to learn about new projects a little bit sooner. But I have a lot of questions I want to ask them, and I'll ask them tomorrow at this same time. You excited for that tomorrow to hear from them?
Yeah. Also, they're giving away 2 Teslas.
Oh man,
one's a Model Plaid, the other one's a Model Y. So like $200,000 worth of cars.
$100,000 worth of cars. So just by having an NFT, A, you may have a chance to be able to get on some whitelists and some things like that that are neat. But B, you might have an opportunity to be able to, find yourself in a Tesla Model Plaid just for holding that NFT. So it's a pretty good little raffle ticket, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a 1 in 7,000 chance to win a $180,000 car. I'm hoping my number gets drawn.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, same here. That would be quite a coup to be able to pull that off. And you know what, my car's getting a little long in the tooth. I think I may need an update. And that'd certainly be a cool way of getting it done, is be through the NFT, which would only be poetic, right? That I have so much of my life now in NFTs and crypto, and that somehow I can, drive a car that was basically given to me through that. So that would be really cool. But that'll be tomorrow at 7:30 UTC. We will be in here in this same Discord server. So join us here. Invite a friend. Bring yourself a friend in here. Let's have some people in the audience. And, if we have time, maybe we could even have a question or two from the audience. But maybe more importantly, you'll be able to hear directly from them about their project and about their launch. So looking forward to that. Zach, anything you want to leave us with before we head off into our Thursday?
I love you, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right. Well, you've had the warm embrace from Smart Rick. That's always a good way to end. I love all of you too. It's not just the love that comes from him. The love comes from me as well. So let's all bring this in. Let's group hug and, kind of give a warm embrace with each other. I will see you tomorrow. I love all of you, and I'll see you here with Dead Puppet Society. See y'all.
See you guys.